Welcome to Revolutionary Talk. We're on episode 3 in our 2023 Wellness Reset. We're going to talk about mental wellness in today's episode. Pretty big one.
Pretty big one, I think so.
Yeah. Probably can all improve there in one way or another.
Oh, yeah. I think so. It's thinking. I don't know if I should think about that though. There's a lot of.
Yeah. Not if it's going to affect your mental wellness.
Yeah. Stop thinking. Just go with the flow.
Seriously, it's been a practice trying to do that lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
I think everybody can relate to that. So.
Not overthinking.
Yeah. Overthinking is. I mean, that's the thing.
Oh, it's easy to let your mind can just go down the whole path of thinking all of these things that haven't even happened yet, and it's like, what in the world?
This might be slightly off topic, but I thought we're all creators. So as like entrepreneurs and creatives, we get creative. I've learned that when we don't get creative outwardly, we sometimes get creative inwardly. Because I've noticed a lot of my overthinking is when I'm not creating projects and when I'm taking breaks. And then I'm like, why am I getting creative in my head? It doesn't do any good. Unless I'm trying to build something or a model, you know? Yeah.
That makes sense. Because when I'm not thinking as much as when I'm doing something with my hands.
Yeah. Crazy. Come back into your body. But let's go back to the mind. Let's go back to the mind.
Mental wellness.
Yeah.
Mental wellness. It's I don't know. It's such a big subject. Like, where do you even jump to first? Are there any areas you two like kind of struggled with mentally last year? Like, whether it be like stressors or overworking or
overthinking?
Yeah, I mean, mine goes to overthinking, but it's the anxiety of either having too much time or not enough time, or both of my stressors. It's literally like say I had a shoot at like 12 o'clock, I'm already like worried about doing stuff before then, so then I lose time and then I get nothing done. Or if I have like a whole day where I could do anything, I'm like, I have so much to do, I don't know where to start. And in both cases, it was anxiety that was like, I got nothing done. So.
Oh my gosh. It's always one or the other, right? Yeah. Like, you have too much or not enough to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then when you get when you're used to doing a bunch at a time, and it's like, okay, you don't have to worry about that anymore. When you go to just like live, you're like, something feels like it's missing.
Yeah.
You need to be filling that time in or whatever.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's like, no, you succeeded. You accomplished that task. Like, let yourself rest.
Something that helped me with all this, though, was like sort of creating a sectional schedule. So something that you mentioned, like I kept my mornings free. So from like 8 to noon was like self-care, me time, like yoga, breath work, meditation, whatever. And then from like 12 to 4 was my like, let's not crap out. And then from like 4 to 8 was kind of soft, could kind of play around. And then 8 to midnight was like time to like chill out.
I like how you called it a sectional schedule.
Yeah. Well, it allowed you to like, so it keeps you on target, but allows you the freedom to create within it. So that you just know from like 12 to 4 is like, nope, I'm working.
Yeah.
Or it's like, but then I learned like I kind of burned out a lot of the morning stuff as you're more higher energy. So it's almost like the 8 to noon is my like, let's get stuff done. And then 12 to 4 is like play around, recharge for the 4 to 8 section.
Nice.
Then it allows you the freedom, but then you still don't have that like, I have so much to do. What do I get started with, you know?
Yeah. And I think for mentally, it's not so stressful either because you're not as...
Yeah, and if you're like, oh, I got to do this from 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, that's exhausting just to think about in my world.
Yeah, that's too much.
So it allowed like that balance between freedom, but also like restriction.
Yes.
And you're like writing out that it's okay for you to have chill time.
So
it's acceptable.
Yeah, that's like the playtime, right?
Yeah.
And that time is so important. It's like no different than recess in school.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. You need that time to get up and walk around.
Need recess.
I think the spiritual side of it too is it increases your life force energy, which attracts more of the like stuff for you in your life. So the more you play, the more you bring in that stuff, but still allowing that structure to be present. Because I think play is really important.
It is.
But if you get paid to play, then you're on target with life.
Absolutely. All right, so to kind of wrap up this episode, we're going to go down the list here.
All right.
Starting with Chris, what are 3 things you're going to do in 2023 for your mental wellness?
Ooh, I'm going to say meditate, love meditating right now. Sauna and cold plunge. I like the contrast therapies. Especially after you do a workout or something, the sauna is so good for decreasing stress and anxiety, and then the cold plunge kind of brings you back to the present, but gives you a little release.
So you like to finish with a cold plunge?
Yeah.
Wake up the mind
Finish
for the
on
day.
cold. Finish on cold, and then it tends to give me about, I say, 3 hours of like really clean brain space to just float through. And by the time that ends, it's about in the part of my schedule where it's like, all right, time for a break.
Nice.
So it's like natural self-sustained caffeine without the jitters.
Yeah. Interesting. I
Yeah.
like it. Kristen, what do you got?
So definitely the sound healing part of it, because that's,
Absolutely.
like you said, meditation. It's a similar practice, but again, working with sound, it's fun. Being out in nature, hiking, just sitting out there, having a picnic or something, that would be fun. Just being outside, because I feel like last year was just too much inside.
Yeah.
And I mean, with that, moving the body more working out, some yoga, weightlifting, a couple of things that I like to do.
Ashtanga. Just put it all together.
Ashtanga, yeah.
Ashtanga.
Get out of the head though.
Yeah.
Like any of those really can seem to do me wonders with helping me to get out of my head.
I like it.
And using an essential oil to ground, and then also like if there's anything especially that's going through my mind, it's like, okay, why do I keep having this thought that is maybe not so positive and serving me? Using essential oils as aromatherapy to reprogram your thoughts is a great tool too.
Yeah.
That could go hand in hand with sound healing.
Exactly.
Tag team. All right, I guess I'm up. So, Kristen took one of mine, but it's a very good one. Getting out in nature.
Yeah.
Kind of mentioned it a little
They're good
bit in the
ones.
last episode. Yeah, I feel like I was inside too much last year. And maybe it's just I'm feeling that way now because it's winter. And it's like, I've been outside forever. But yeah. Like I mentioned in the last episode, hitting the beach soon. Also going out to Arizona in a couple months. So I'm trying to get out of this cold weather and get outside till it warms up back in Kansas City. Tech detox. Man, I've been on my phone too much lately. It's been bad. Waste of time, and I don't know. I feel like it makes me like scatterbrained.
Yeah.
When I'm just like scrolling for no reason. It's like, what was I doing today? And screwing me up. So
yeah,
that's a big one. And better scheduling. So kind of like what you mentioned, Chris, but I've been a little loosey-goosey with my schedule at times. Trying to, I guess, be intuitive about it, but then I'm always like, should I be relaxing right now, or is this a problem? And, trying to get a little more structured there. So those are mine 3.
Perfect. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Pretty good list. I think the people out there should vote on these. See which one's the best or which one applies to you the most. Not that one's better than the other,
I think mine's better, but I agree.
It's not a competition, Chris.
No, absolutely not.
No, it's a good list. 2023, getting the mental wellness back on track.
Yeah.
Very nice. On to next week. We're going to talk about getting better sleep, which is often overlooked, especially if you're an entrepreneur or run a very busy schedule. We kind of forget about it sometimes. So we're going to talk about that and much, much more in the series. Be sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for next week.